exploring lakes, rivers, and reservoirs across the country with an unyielding goal to enlighten viewers from a fisheye perspective. Come along and we'll investigate the habitat. Much more than a fishing show, this is an eye-opening aquatic experience. Welcome to Kim Stricker's Hook and Look. Some of the most difficult bass to reach are those far under low-hanging overhead canopies. And in many cases, these isolated bass are also the biggest. It's likely, too, that they haven't seen as many lures and can be easily deceived if precisely approached. On this week's episode, Kim validates the trials, tribulations, and triumphs of skipping a jig with bait casting equipment.
Welcome to Dock Skipping 101.
During the heat of midsummer, largemouth bass have a limited array of options in which to escape the heat and light penetration the sultry season delivers. Either go deep, bury up in thick aquatic vegetation, or in certain lakes, appear to favor hard structure, accompanied by a sheltered overhead canopy. Throughout many northern lakes, removable docks as well as aluminum boat lifts line the shorelines of these populated waters, accompanied by a fleet of pontoons and pleasure boats.
There we go. Well, it's a start. It's a start. Yeah. He was under that pontoon boat. That's the whole thing about getting under that stuff. I'm sure there's a lot better fish than that one. But skipping that jig under there, cool. But that fish came out towards the end of the dock. First thing in the morning, them fish are a little more out and about. But when that sun gets up high and bright, that's when they really get under these pontoons. So it should be getting better as the day progresses. Now that pontoon's got some depth. There we go. Ought to be one there. Oh, there we go. This is a decent fish too. This is a big one. Look at that. Oh, there's a beauty. Look at that. Get my net. Oh, there's a dandy off the docks. Oh, yes. Yes, that's more like it. Right in the nose. Now, actually, I think I was peeling off out of backlash and lifted up. My line was about 4 foot to the side. So he was on underneath that pontoon boat. Nice, solid fish. Beauty. Awesome. Many anglers find it intimidating trying to skip with bait casting equipment, present company included. But with a little practice, it's a crafty way to place a jig deep within these hard to reach places and employ the accuracy, control, torque, and heavier line that bait casting equipment has to offer. Now your first inclination will be to crank down the tension on your reel in fear of backlashing. But don't do this, because it'll cause you to overthrow, creating just as much grief, if not more. In regards to rod length, it's best to keep it under 7 feet. I use a medium-heavy Shimano Zodius teamed up with 20-pound Seaguar Tatsu fluorocarbon line. Boat positioning is an essential aspect as well when it comes to skipping in tight places. If you're right-handed, it's best to approach your target from left to right, allowing you the freedom of an unobstructed backcast from the port side of your boat. Now, keep your eye on where you want the jig to go while making an effort to get low and more parallel to the water, as if you're trying to skip a stone. A slight wind up and roll your wrists with a side-armed roll cast. And just like any other cast with a bait casting reel, be sure to feather the line with your thumb to help prevent a backlash.
Coming up, there's more to learn about skipping docks. Right after these messages. Hook and Look is brought to you by Strike King Lure Company, #1 in fishing lures. Seaguar, trust Seaguar when everything is on the line. Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. Aquaview, reinventing underwater cameras. And by Indian River, Michigan Tourist Bureau, pure water, pure trails, pure north.
I need to get up in there. Jig hits the pontoon, the bluegill don't even move. The bass shouldn't either. There he is right there. Oh, nice fish too. Well, I thought it was better than that, but he's still a good one. He's still a good one. Yeah. Right at the end of the pontoon. Yeah, that's better. Yep, you get around the, there you go. You know, you get around the right docks, and we'll talk about that. Let's get him back in the water. Kind of skinny. Kind of skinny. Thank you. In all honesty, there can be a bass under any one of these docks and pontoons. However, the most consistent ones were those that intersect the drop-off. Although the bass appear to feel secure beneath the shade of the overhead canopy, they still prefer to have rapid accessibility to deep water. These sweeter docks are primarily found along the outside channel bends. See, that's a point with that last fish too, is I hit the pontoon. I was talking about the bluegill didn't even move. Well, neither did the bass. He moved on the jig. That's one thing with fish underneath a canopy, is they just seem to be more secure. They're not as spooky, and they'll hold there. We see that under the water all the time. Get under the back of that boat. These are some good looking docks. Deep water on the ends of them. You like that old skip it jig, do you? Look at that, nice fish. Get my net. Right there. Every now and then you come to the right dock and catch a good one. How dark that fish is, huh? And look how healthy they are. Just great. Stuck you right up in the nose. Yes, sir. Right up underneath that boat, right at the back end of it. I skipped right up under the back. Female, so you can see where it was fanning the bed earlier. But yeah, thank you, fish. Nice, nice, nice.
Stick around. A bass eye perspective of the pontoons is coming up next. Undoubtedly, The Ranger Comanche series is among the most advanced designs in the bass boat industry. From its legendary hull to so many revolutionary interior features. Kim tells us why he chooses to run a dual console Z520C.
Well, first of all, it fits in my garage well. It also handles most of the waters we fish across the country, even when we got it stacked with dive gear. Having a second console helps keep my guests comfortable, and we utilize the storage space of the extra deep glove box. And speaking of storage space, this boat is equipped with abundant lockable storage. The power ventilated rod compartments keep my rods well organized and dry. There's even an integrated tackle storage area. And I'm guessing that not many utilize the boarding ladder as much as we do. I could go on and on. There's so many useful, innovative features that help make this boat outshine the rest. Add the best-in-class torque of an Evinrude E-Tech G2 and a pair of power pole blades, and my Ranger Z520C Comanche is by far a total performance fishing machine.
Following a productive morning, Kim decides to give his skipping jig a rest in favor of plunging deep within the shadowed canopy with the camera.
Got a bunch of fingerling largemouth here. Tons of fingerling. No wonder this is a great bass lake. A lot of these docks are rolling docks. They have wheels on them. They're all removable docks, but because of the icy winters, these docks have to come out or they get all busted up from all the ice shifting. I'll move down to the next. Now that ballast area works out to the edge. Coming up on another pontoon. You get underneath there and you can see the shade. But as soon as you pull up underneath it, start to see. There is. Shows you how shallow they'll get under this stuff. Here's one that's just off the break right in front of the dock. Down above these deeper ones are nice. Those fish just kind of move up off the break, get up under the dock, shallow. No rhyme or reason. Every now and then there's a bass on one of these. And occasionally a couple. Good place to hide. But they're not on every pontoon, that's for sure.
No, they're not. But every now and then, you come to the right one. And a solid largemouth is comfortably parked within the shadows. It's a plain and simple fact that largemouth bass have a fondness for an overhead canopy. From our underwater point of view, the bass can be observed inching up the break and tucking themselves in only a foot or two of water, well within the horizontal crossbars of the boatlets. Throw in the darkness of some floating grass, which is drifted in and collected inside the metallic structure, and it makes these areas all the more appealing. It's these hard-to-reach places you want to target while skipping a jig, where average presentations and average anglers can't access. You know, you have a whole different comprehension of how those fish hold under those pontoons after you've been in the water to see it personally. I've got a whole new point of view and confidence, knowing that I just got to keep covering the docks. With that said, I assure you, not all the bass are hanging on the docks. And it's wise to make some casts along the edge as you travel between. Oh, yeah, that feels like a little bit of fish too. Yes. Man, get my net. I mean, that shows you that you want to fish that jig in between the docks too. Absolutely. Oh, very nice. Good solid fish.
Well, in lieu of the fact that the skipping jig excels at skipping, it can be presented in a conventional manner as well, with comparable success.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're at this little point between the docks.
Coming up, the hydroplaning advantage of the proper trailer. Stay tuned. This portion of Hook and Look is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Evinrude, introducing the all-new Evinrude E-Tech G2. Sims Fishing Products, the choice of professional guides and anglers worldwide. Dr. Edward Lonieski, ethical and effective stem cell therapy. And by Sportfish Michigan, your source for the top charter captains and guides.
The skipping jig, this was designed by Andy Montgomery, and it's got a flat surface, so when it hits the water, it can skip. But one of the really neat things too is it's got a screw lock on it. And what I like to use is a rage bug. And the reason for a rage bug is it's got a flat surface. You know, it's like a skipping stone. You know, the bigger, flatter stones are much better for skipping. Well, same thing with a skipping jig. So you just thread it on. I get it down about an inch and a quarter, and then start twisting it. You gotta kind of get it up above the hook. You twist it like 3 or 4 times. 3 times, brings it right up on it, just like that. But that is a skipping bug. You hear it come over those bars. Yeah, stuck it. They like the structure of those horizontal bars. Beauty. If there's one there, I got him. Oh. Oh, he was on it again, dang it. He's on it again. Look at that. Look at that. He hit that how many times? Oh, he hit it underneath the pontoon. I made a great cast up underneath there. He missed it. I saw him come up and he missed it. I dropped it down again. He missed it. And 3 times the charm. Ugh. Get out of there. There you go. You wanted that jig, didn't you? Not a big fish, but it gave you some fun, that's for sure. Here we go. Now see, he was off the edge of that point. Oh man. They cut it up, look at that. Another solid fish. Another solid fish. Get over here. Another nice, solid chunk of bass. And he's still got a lot of fight in him. This was nice and healthy. Nice fish. Good 2 3/4, maybe 3 pounds. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Oh, there's one right there. Oh, look at that. That's a good one. That is a big one. Oh, man, look at this. Oh, that is a pig. That is a pig. Get over here, baby. Look at that. Oh, man. Welcome to Dock Skipping 101. That's what lives under there. They're not on every dock. Get that old jig out of there. You liked that, didn't you? They're not on every dock, but look at those chunky pigs. Isn't that nice? Well, I thank you, fish. Awesome. And as I said, right inside all that tangled mess. Thank you, that's a big pig.
Conveniently located on the banks of Secord Lake, Lost Arrow Resort is your mid-Michigan vacation destination, not only for great fishing, but for all times that are special. With a full-service restaurant and bar, a variety of rooms, cabins, and river houses, indoor pool and spa, as well as complimentary boat docking, Lost Arrow Resort is a hidden gem that is certain to make your mid-Michigan getaway a memorable one.
You don't want to miss our next episode when once again I get together with Wally Marshall. Mr. Crappie and I vertically jig his new scissor shad for broken bow slabs and then study their fastidious behavior from a hook and look point of view. A revealing walk in Wally's world next week on Hook and Look.
Hook and Look is a Kim Stricker production.